Let me ask you something real quick. Have you ever wanted something so bad, but no matter how hard you tried, you just couldn't get it? That's Plankton every single episode. But here's what's wild. There's one episode in SpongeBob that quietly explains why he always loses. It's not just because Mr. Krabs outsmarts him, and it's not because SpongeBob stops him. It's deeper than that. The episode's called FUN, and yeah, it's the one with that catchy F is for friends who do stuff together. But underneath the singing and jellyfish, this episode says something real about Plankton. Because for one brief moment, Plankton actually has a chance to change. He could win, not just the Krabby Patty, something bigger, acceptance, friendship, purpose, and then he blows it. So why does that happen? Why does Plankton always throw away his own shot? That's what this video is about. We're going to break down the FUN episode, not just to laugh, but to understand what makes Plankton tick and what holds him back. Because honestly, FUN might be the most important episode in his entire arc. It shows that even when the universe gives Plankton an open door, he slams it shut. By the end of this, you'll see that the reason he never wins isn't bad luck. It's him. Let's dive in. Alright, let's rewind back to Season 1, Episode 10B, FUN. The episode starts with a familiar setup. Plankton is trying to steal a Krabby Patty from the Krusty Krab. Chaos breaks out, alarms go off, and once again, he's caught. It looks like just another one of his failed schemes. But this time, SpongeBob stops everything and says something nobody expects. I don't think Plankton's evil. I think he's just lonely. Let that sink in. While everyone else sees a villain, SpongeBob sees a person, someone who might just need a friend. So SpongeBob makes it his mission to teach Plankton how to have fun, literal fun. Cue the now iconic FUN song. F is for friends who do stuff together, U is for you and me. SpongeBob and Plankton go jellyfishing. They blow bubbles together, and for a moment, it actually works. Plankton lets his guard down. He laughs, he smiles. He even says he never knew fun could be this fun. It's a turning point. For the first time ever, we see Plankton as more than a one-note villain. He seems human, vulnerable, maybe even good. But here's where it hits hard. Later that night, Plankton goes back to his old ways. He uses the trust SpongeBob gave him to try and steal the Krabby Patty again. He didn't change. He was playing a long con, or was he? Because when Mr. Krabs exposes the betrayal, SpongeBob's heart breaks. He actually thought he had helped Plankton become something better. And Plankton, he doesn't even celebrate. He just looks empty. Even though he technically wins in that moment, he gets the patty, he loses everything else. He loses SpongeBob's trust. He loses his chance at being more than just the villain. And by the end of the episode, he's literally smashed against a wall by a door. His victory turned into another gag. And that's what makes this episode different. It's not just a setup for a laugh, it's a character study. FUN shows us that the reason Plankton always fails isn't just about schemes or plans. It's about what's going on inside him. His need to win is so strong, he's willing to throw away the one thing that could actually make him happy: connection. So when people ask, why does Plankton never win? This episode gives you the answer. He gets in his own way every single time. Let's walk through FUN again, not just what happens, but what it means. Because this episode isn't just the one with the song. It's a rare moment where Plankton is shown as more than just a villain. For once, we see who he is when nobody's looking. And what we see, it's why he never wins. The episode kicks off like a typical Plankton scheme. He sneaks into the Krusty Krab, grabs a Krabby Patty, and tries to escape. Mr. Krabs is furious, everyone's yelling. But then, SpongeBob steps in and says something that changes the tone completely. I don't think he's evil. I think he's just lonely. Wait, lonely? No one's ever said that about Plankton before, and in that one sentence, FUN shifts from being just another goofy plot to something more emotional. SpongeBob, the most innocent character in the show, sees something in Plankton that no one else ever has: potential for good. Let me ask you this, how would it feel to be seen like that when everyone else has written you off? Instead of punishing him, SpongeBob decides to show Plankton what it means to have fun. Not fake fun, not evil laugh, laser beam kind of fun, but real, joyful, simple fun. They go jellyfishing together, they blow bubbles, they sing. And in one of the most honest lines Plankton has ever said, he admits, "I never knew what fun could be like." That's huge. This is the moment where the episode shows that Plankton could change. He's not incapable of joy. He's not immune to connection. He's just never had it. Now ask yourself, if you had never experienced real fun before, would you let yourself enjoy it, or would you pull away before it could hurt? That night, Plankton goes right back to his plan. He uses the trust SpongeBob gave him to steal a Krabby Patty. Was it always his plan, or did he change his mind at the last second? That's what makes this so tragic. We'll never really know, but here's what we do know. He had a real shot at happiness, and he traded it for a sandwich. And you can see it in the way he reacts. He doesn't laugh. He doesn't celebrate. He doesn't even run away smiling. He just looks hollow. Because winning in the way he thought he wanted doesn't feel like winning anymore. What happens next is classic SpongeBob slapstick. Plankton gets smashed behind a movie screen, the Krabby Patty launches through the air, and his plan is ruined. But the real damage was done long before that. He didn't just lose the Krabby Patty, he lost SpongeBob's trust. He lost the only person who ever looked at him with hope. And most of all, he lost the part of himself that almost got free. How many times have you seen someone blow a good thing because they were scared to believe it was real? That's FUN. That's why it matters, and that's why Plankton never wins. So let's get specific. Exactly how does Plankton lose in FUN? Because this episode isn't just emotional, it's strategic. Every moment is crafted to show you how Plankton sets himself up to fail, even when he's finally handed a chance to win. Let's break it down. Step 1, he earned SpongeBob's trust. This part, totally unplanned. Plankton didn't go into the episode expecting friendship, but when SpongeBob pulls him away from the chaos and treats him like a person instead of a pest, Plankton rolls with it. You might think, okay, he's just pretending to be friendly so he can get close. But look closer. Plankton actually starts to enjoy it. He laughs, he joins in. And when they sing the FUN song together, there's a moment where he looks free, even if just for a second. Step 2, he fakes the change, but maybe not completely. Now here's where things get messy. Later when Plankton is alone, he pulls out the Krabby Patty from under his helmet. He had it the whole time. So what's the real story? Did he pretend to be SpongeBob's friend just to steal the patty? Or did he actually feel the friendship for a while and then choose to backstab him anyway? That's what makes this moment sting, because if he was pretending the whole time, that's cold. But if he wasn't and still betrayed SpongeBob, then it means Plankton betrayed himself too. Step 3, he gets exposed. In classic Mr. Krabs fashion, he sets a trap at the movie theater. When Plankton tries to sneak off with the patty, Krabs is waiting. The curtain falls, the crowd gasps. SpongeBob is heartbroken. And Plankton, no celebration, no evil laugh, just that same blank look. He knows this isn't a win, he knows he blew it. Step 4, he pays the price. Finally, he gets launched across the room, pinned behind a wall, and the Krabby Patty flies out of reach. Again, visually it's a joke, but symbolically it's the pattern. Plankton had it all lined up, and he could have had the patty and someone who cared about him, but he always chooses the short-term prize. And that's why in the end, he's stuck, alone, flattened, and empty-handed. Let's zoom out. FUN isn't just a one-off emotional episode. It's the blueprint for every other time Plankton fails. It sets the tone for who he is and why he's stuck in this endless cycle of loss. And it reveals something important, not just about Plankton, but about the entire world of SpongeBob. Sure, Krabs is always there to stop him, but FUN proves that even when Krabs isn't standing in the way, Plankton still finds a way to ruin it for himself. Why? Because he doesn't trust good things, he doesn't trust people, and he definitely doesn't trust himself to change. SpongeBob offered him a new path, one where he wasn't the villain anymore. But Plankton slammed the door on it. Why? Because deep down, he's more comfortable being hated than being vulnerable. Let's be real, SpongeBob is a comedy, and Plankton failing is part of the joke. That's how the formula works. But FUN goes beyond that. It doesn't just use Plankton as comic relief, it gives him complexity. He's not just evil for fun, he's broken in a very real way. This episode says, yeah, he's the villain, but he's also lonely. He's scared, he wants more. And that's why we feel something when he fails here. Not just laughter, sympathy. At his core, Plankton is the person who wants success, but pushes away anything real. He chases what he thinks he needs, while ignoring what he actually craves. Have you ever done that? Chased a goal so hard that you burned bridges along the way? Or passed up something meaningful because you didn't think you deserved it? Plankton does it in every episode. But FUN is the first time we truly see it. So when people say, why doesn't Plankton ever win? You now know the real answer. It's not the world keeping him down, it's the wall he refuses to tear down himself. Alright, now it's your turn. We've broken down the episode, we've looked at Plankton's fears, his choices, and the moment he almost became more than a villain, but didn't. Now I want to hear from you. What do you think was the moment Plankton truly lost in FUN? Was it when he pulled the Krabby Patty out of his helmet and proved he'd been lying? Or was it earlier, when he had the chance to change and couldn't bring himself to do it? Think about it. If he had just let SpongeBob in, really let him in, do you think things would have gone differently? And here's a tougher question. Have you ever had a Plankton moment in your own life? A time where someone offered you trust or support or friendship and you didn't know how to accept it? It's wild how a cartoon like SpongeBob SquarePants can dig into something so real, but that's what great stories do. They sneak past your defenses, they make you laugh, then hit you with the truth. And maybe that's what makes FUN such a powerful episode. Because it's not just a story about a failed villain. It's a warning, a mirror, a reminder that holding on to pain can cost you more than failure. It can cost you connection, growth, peace. So the next time life hands you a F is for friends moment, don't do what Plankton did. Don't fake it. Don't run from it. Lean into it. Let yourself laugh. Let yourself change. And maybe, just maybe, that's how you win. If you made it this far, I want to hear from you in the comments. What's your favorite Plankton moment in the whole series? Do you think he'll ever truly change? Or is he stuck being the guy who always loses? And if you want to see a follow-up video where we explore what would happen if Plankton actually won, let me know. Thanks for watching.